So hey everybody, this is Earthling 6455463728, and what I wanted to talk about today was a while ago, after there was a shooting, I think it was a school shooting, or maybe it was just some other mass shooting. Neil deGrasse Tyson had made a comment that I guess people tend to fall for the sensational rather than being objective. And, I guess my gut reaction at the time was, yeah, that's true. That makes sense. That's right. But I think a lot of other people, I think he made it the day of, or maybe the day after, he may have said it. A lot of other people were like shocked that he would say, because I think in his example, what he was using was the same day that there was a mass shooting, however many number of people died of medical accidents, however many people died of tobacco smoking or suicide or this or that or the other. And that was his point, that the sensational thing of death by gun, it attracts attention and it attracts sympathy and it attracts all of these things that are associated with a mass shooting in the United States. And I was surprised because a lot of people came out and condemned him. There was a lot of people that were upset with him on Twitter where he made that post. And I was really surprised that even, what's this guy from The Daily Show? He was like, oh, Neil deGrasse came out with this thing that was insensitive on the day. It was really insensitive. And I was like, really? That's what I was thinking. And I couldn't really put it into words. I couldn't say, okay, why what Neil deGrasse was saying made sense and why what Trevor Noah from The Daily Show didn't make any sense. And what I really, in the end, broke it down to was that, okay, the names of the people who were shot in that particular incident, they would be in the media and people would see hear about their lives and what they did and all of the other stuff. But at the end of the day, the people who died of a medical accident, the people who died of suicide, the people who died of smoking, nobody ever hears those names. And to me, to ignore and push aside all of those people whose names never get into the media because it wasn't something sensational that they died from, I think that's more offensive than anything Neil deGrasse Tyson would have said. I think he's pointing to the fact that if you die of a school shooting, you are a celebrity. If you die of, a non-spectacular medical malpractice or medical accident or smoking or suicide and you're not already a celebrity, or any number of things that people die from that we should really put more focus on. And let me say why. If 400,000 people a year in the US are dying of a particular issue, but let's be generous and say every single day 8 people died of a mass shooting, that is never going to get anywhere close to even 10,000 people, right? Because if you have 10 people multiplied by 365, that's 3,000 odd people, 3,650 people. And then you have 500,000 people might be dying, for example, of smoking related diseases. It's sensational, it's exciting. Even I was, part of the thing where, oh my God, these shootings are so horrible. But when you compare them to what a cousin of mine died of, and she was breathing from a tank for whenever she had an issue and she couldn't walk very fast or she couldn't run, and she had a stroke, and at the end of the day the only thing she could say was her daughter's name, and her cause of death was because of years and years of smoking. It doesn't attract headlines. It's what we expect. It's what we know happens. So her name is less important than somebody who died spectacularly because of a school shooting? I don't think so. And I think that's one of the things that all of the people who were down on Neil deGrasse Tyson about, was that when you say 500 people die of a medical accident or whatever, every one of those 500 people's names matter. They matter just as much as any one of the 8 people who might die in a mass shooting that has more than 4 victims. All of those names matter just as much. To suggest that Neil deGrasse should shut up while the names of the people who died in a noticeable way are memorialized is completely whack. It's wrong. It's gross. And for example, when these things happened, when there was that shooting in Paris, I think it was of the people who made a cartoon about Muhammad, and someone went into their offices and shot up all of them. That was gruesome. That's horrible. It's really horrible. To me, it was more horrible because, and maybe to other people as well, but my family and I, we had gone to Paris. So we were there. We would not have been ever in the exact same place. I don't know where that office is. But it was like, okay, this is a peaceful place or peaceful country that you can go to. And for this to happen there is so horrible. And I did the whole thing where, I put the transparent colors of France over one of my pictures and so on. I think there was a way, Facebook allowed you to be able to do that. But afterwards, when all of these people were dying from bombs in Iraq and in Afghanistan and all of these other places, I started to feel bad about feeling so moved about what was happening or what had happened in France. And when I see 200 people are killed in a mass bombing in not Thailand, but I can't remember the name of one of these places, I turn the page. Yeah, is there something novel about the death? Well, okay, let me read. If it's a place that I've been, okay, well, I guess it matters more. But I feel bad. I shouldn't, from an objective point of view, because I should understand how my feelings work, and I guess that means I need to understand why Trevor Noah thought that Neil deGrasse's comments were so offensive. I guess maybe I need to appreciate why people feel when people are subjective. It's natural for people to be subjective. It's natural for me to be subjective. But I do feel, I guess, that I need to come back to objective reality and realize that lives are the same. And I guess there's nothing that I can do about someone. There's nothing I can do. Well, there was something I could do for when those people died in France. I could change my picture in solidarity with them. But Facebook doesn't seem to have that kind of thing when it's something that happens in Iraq, and then, or Iran, or Afghanistan, or Yemen, or Equatorial Guinea, or the Congo, or any one of those places. But I don't know. But at the end of the day, I think that for those of us who can and who have the clarity to look at the situation and say, yeah, Neil, you're right. And as upsetting as our guts may feel, about how you put it into words. Elizabeth Hossain, who died of a medical emergency in wherever, whenever, however, her life is just as important as John Ali, or I don't know, I'm trying to think of some other name that's beyond the normal names. But yeah, their lives are just as important, and I should do what makes sense, or what can be done, regardless of if I'm moved or not, and realize that my inner feeling of this is moving and that isn't shouldn't always, it should, and it does, because I'm a human being, it matters, but it shouldn't always be something that I can't transcend and realize, hey, all lives matter, right? Anyway, guys, and that's, in that context, I say it, I thought I was saying something, but yeah, all lives matter really was meant to be sort of a dig at Black Lives Matter. But Black Lives Matter really means, hey, all lives matter. So to say all lives matter is really, it's so funny, isn't it? To say that Black Lives Matter, it offends people who think that all lives matter, but by saying all lives matter, you're denigrating the fact that Black Lives Matter, because they don't. When we understand that they don't, all lives don't all matter. That's the point. That's the reason why we have to say Black Lives Matter. Anyway, guys, as usual, wish me lucks. So you like, unlike, you comment, subscribe, and or share. Really appreciate it. And maybe one day, a couple of people are gonna listen to this, and that'd be cool. Thanks. Peace.